Welcome to the first stream summary of my GTNH 2.8 run, going from the Stone Age to the start of LV. Since 2.8 has just been released, I now decided to do a new playthrough. I've spawned in a pretty nice location, so I've decided to eventually build my base already over here. The first night, however, was just digging down a hole and hide the monsters. This hole, however, would become the first base until LV. Before I go further exploring, let's set up a small storage area. I heard that in version 2.8 the loot from the roguelike dungeons has been buffed. I was also very lucky that near my spawn was already a wizard tower dungeon. There's a chance that on the second level of that dungeon is an enchantment table. In the beginning I've basically looted anything that could be useful to me. But not having proper weapons yet, I died quite a lot and decided now to work on the next objective. I also went exploring on the overworld to find villagers, because some of them have tinker smelteries. And the first village I found already had one. With these Tinker's Construct crafting stations, I could finally build the first tools. With these tools then, I could gather the materials required to build the first coke oven. I was also trying out the new auto crafting system that has been added in the 2.8 version. That's the first coke oven done, and also the first trophy earned. For the required cotton supply and food, I built a small farm in front of my base. And to catch some animals, I built this beautiful dirt cage. I wanted some cows for having leather and milk. I then gathered some cobblestone to complete the next quest and receive my iron tools. I went back to the dungeon and looted more useful things. And also got a nice weapon. Since I already got most of the parts of the Tinker Smeltery from the village, I now just had to craft a few extra parts. And that is the smeltery done. Now I just have to get some lava and get it going. The nice part about the dungeon loot is that I already had enough steel and 10 leather to craft the glider. That was quite useful since I had to explore a bit to find a copper vein. Next to the vein was also another dungeon where I could break the voids to get bricks. Back at the base, I used that copper and tin to craft first bronze. Smelting various tools I looted in the village and dungeon, I could already make the first obsidian plate, one of the two required for the tool forge. But to get really started in this location, I've built a large dirt wall around the base, and also a stone platform where I will eventually move into. And from this tower here, I can jump down with the glider to explore more areas. So let's steal some more Tinker's parts from another village. And also go to Slime Island. But now, before progressing more GregTech, I need to take care of food, so I'm going to build a large farm for every crop. The new auto-crafting feature is also nice to get some sandwiches. Once the food was taken care of, I continued with Greg, and here's the first coal boiler. And also the next trophy. To make the tool forge we need iron blocks, so the first machine I made is the compressor. And to help with resources and avoid making mortars, I made a macerator as well. Then using the dusts from the macerator, I crafted the next 8 dusts of obsidianite. And got the next plate cast. And now, finally, making the tool forge. Of course, the first thing I made is the hammer. And then the lumber axe and excavator. The lumber axe is very important to get enough wood to get the coke ovens running. A viewer mentioned I should check the redwood trees from Natura, so I went ahead to find one to see if the axe can chop down it completely. Okay. This is the one from Natura. Okay, let's go. Is that enough? Let's get the lunch bag. Oh no. Oh my goodness. I didn't even I didn't have enough durability. Oh, oh no. Unfortunately, it broke. But next was getting more sand and clay to make more coke ovens. This coke oven setup over here will power a boiler with creosote and blast furnaces with coal in the future. Next, I was interested in trying out the cooking for blockheads mod. So I went ahead and used the crafting system to craft the entire kitchen. The nice thing about this mod is it's showing all available recipes that you can make with ingredients and tools stored in the kitchen, which is useful for getting the extra hearts. I also got the compressor already working on compressed fire clay. And also made quite a lot more coke oven bricks in the meantime. In total, I got now 12 coke ovens set up. And now just need to automatically feed them with wood and get the creosote and charcoal out of it. I used the tin item pipes for the input. But before setting up the creosote output, I first need a storage for it. And then I could connect these pipes and faucets to drain the creosote. But I had to upgrade the pipes immediately for the flow rate. Then for the charcoal output, I connect more tin item pipes to the hoppers below the coke ovens. To get started with the steam production, I first need a new location for the large tank. And while I was waiting for the iron, I started with the brick blast furnace. The new auto crafting system is amazing. Crafting these was no problem at all. And that's the first blast furnace done. Then the resources for the iron tank were ready, so I could continue building it. But I miscalculated the resource amount required and had to produce some more. So in the meantime I was working on making the crossbow, which I was going to make out of slime crystal parts. And that's the crossbow and bolt done. Then, after I got more resources ready, I cleaned up the entire steam area, finished the tank, and set up a new steam production site. Also using the auto crafting system, it was quite easy to get another 3 blast furnaces going. However, now the single block machines are quite slow, so let's upgrade to the first multi-block of the macerator. Let's go. Holy shit. The entire multi-block is done. That is crazy. After using the auto crafting system, I just had to build the multi-block. I needed more zinc, so I built the nether portal to go to the nether. I think I have been quite lucky with my spawn. I didn't spawn on top of any lava lake. Then I was making more blank casts to craft molds. The molds will be used in the alloys method to make various parts. Then I had enough steel ready to craft the first Raycraft boiler. Then connected to the creosote, and there it is, the first boiler running. Next up was replacing the slow alloy smelter with the multi-block. And I have to say, so far this multi-block saved me so much time, it's really worth it. Now I can make lots of bronze, red alloy ingots, vacuum tubes, gears and casings with the molds. However, what I didn't realize is the amount of steam this multi-block takes. My bronze pipes were absolutely not enough for it. But turning it on and off once a while still gave me enough resources to quickly progress to the first LV circuits. And with these, I made a steam turbine and a wire mill. I didn't realize here that the machines have an auto output, so later I put barrels just under the machines. Having easier wires meant easier circuit crafts. And so I made the first bending machine. The bender made more plates that I could use then for the next machine, a lathe. So with these first LV machines running, we reached now the end of the first summary video. They will produce a lot of resources to get started with the assembler next time. I need to get the potent pipes with lead from the Twilight Forest as soon as possible. But thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, come join me when I stream on Twitch or on YouTube. See you next time.